James Nolan's having a strong.
That was a lemon.
That one's a lemon?
Yeah, I just couldn't get to it for a while. It's on the side.
Fuck. Need a moment to yourself?
Nah, I don't mind you being. I'm sorry.
I don't mind either. We shouldn't be permitted the things we we are. This is wrong.
The things we are. This thing we be and do.
We shouldn't.
Sometimes I'm sitting at my desk, and I look up at my like sexy ass Harley Quinn poster. I'm like,
I love you.
what have I had that for? I had it for like a year and a half or something.
Long enough.
Many more years.
To your future son. It's like, I've wanted to give this to you for the longest time.
Jacob.
You're a man now.
I remember when I got that display, I went to get the package, and I was like talking with the receptionist at the desk, and I was like, yeah, I just got this new like Harley Quinn poster. And I just like opened it up in front of them so I could see it too. They're like, all right.
Cool. That's all well and fine, because personally I don't like any of them. They once told me when I had a package come in, and it was too early for it to be like signed on the list. To
like
sign,
it came
sign
that day.
Yeah, they were like, "Oh, maybe you should come back tomorrow." But I need it today.
It is here. You can just look for it.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Like, and I didn't want to seem like a prick.
I've never been in the situation where I needed something the day of. So they have occasionally told me like it'd be better if you came back tomorrow or like later tonight after 8, or like around 8. We'll have it.
Be more convenient for them, is what they need to say.
Yeah,
that's what they told me. Is I should.
Like they didn't give a suggestion. They were like, "This is what you do."
It would be in your best interest to come back.
So you don't have to deal with the hulking wrath of the receptionist. So I guess we're starting. Hi, welcome to the second episode of this. What was the name we decided on? I made a logo for it today.
Oh yeah, it was.
What we usually do.
What we usually do.
You've seen it now. Taking as long to pick these as you long to pick the donuts.
Oh, you don't know.
Always bringing that up.
My decision-making skills are premeditated.
Like, no, they're not. You're really shaking the time.
You're meditating on everything as you do it. Like
presently meditated.
And we're off.
I am consciously like trying to do better now. You did a little too good last time. I need to put you back in your place.
I don't know if that was you or you want to take credit for that, like ISIS, but
I haven't heard of them in a while. It's refreshing. How are they doing, by the way?
Nostalgic.
They're like fully disbanded now, right? Because they got like taken out or whatever by us or
yeah,
someone.
the band broke up, man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Disbanded is a word for.
Final tour.
It's never the final tour. when
Yo,
they
I
say
got
that.
tickets to what?
I suppose I never did an audio test for this one. And I need to bring mine a little closer, yours a little further away.
Compensate for the...
Well, yours was going in the red a little bit more than mine was.
Yeah. It's probably going to do that anyway.
Yeah. I'm going to end up leaning further back, you're going to end up leaning closer.
It actually might be the sharpness of my voice.
Maybe.
You have a pretty even tone.
You have more peaks.
I sound like I'm screaming across the kitchen at all times. Huh?
I don't know, Ma.
The what? Do we got any more chicken or what? It's just like,
Check the freezer.
check the freezer.
Why don't you keep the chicken in the freezer?
It's gonna go bad. It's
You know the chicken always gets freezer burn. I hope this doesn't sound like too terrible.
probably does.
It sounds the fucking worst.
You just started like yelling basically compared to what you usually do, and I did not improve my situation.
Well, we were doing the fucking chicken in the bit.
The the chicken in the bit.
Yeah.
It's my favorite. Ma, are we having chicken in the bit tonight? We do this a lot.
What?
Get donuts and play video games.
Oh.
More than we should. Like I'm too familiar with the donut taste now of the place that we go.
It's my turn to pick.
Part of the greasiness of the...
Yeah.
Just don't slip, and technically we won't have any issues. That's not going to help you there, man. That's my go-to spot.
I wiped the grease off my hands onto his pants, and he is just more slick.
You just undid whatever you did.
Or I did on my own pants. I hope whatever's happening right now is clear to the audience.
Probably not.
Doesn't matter. Maybe it makes it funnier.
It's fun.
Yeah.
I mean, there's going to be a lot you're going to cut out of this anyway, so...
We'll see.
Leave everything in. From the minute you hit record.
Yeah.
Do what Kai does.
He's made
Actually,
some cuts recently.
he did cut out the one actual conversation we had in the beginning. At least for the lightning round battlegrounds. Or nope, I mean not that.
Censor that.
The the Lethal Company video.
Yeah, the Lethal Company video you like cut up a lot
Yeah.
and didn't keep anything past the shit ass. I really like that moment though.
Yeah. I genuinely, the first time he did that, I thought he was going somewhere else with that. Like, what are you getting at, man? And then he fucking...
Yeah, in the video you said you thought he was gonna like pep talk us.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that video to come out. My version, because my version's better. Sorry, Kai. He's not listening to this.
I can't imagine.
He would never dedicate a whole like hour of his time, or whatever this ends up being.
I mean,
Yeah, we check out. The reason we like wanted to make this podcast was because what we usually do is this, like literally this, get donuts and play Mario Kart on the Wii, and we just check out and then like say whatever comes to mind.
we've been doing this for like kind of over a year at this point.
Yeah.
Actually, the prototype of this was like the first time we wanted something like sweet, so we went in half on a cake.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that was like the prototype. We just naturally gravitate towards this.
And it was like the unicorn ice cream cake, right?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah. And then what did we do? We were like, I don't think we were playing games. I think we were watching stuff in your basement.
Oh yeah, I think we were watching like Doodle Dudes.
Oh yeah, it might have been Doodle Dudes. When did we watch Cartoon Cat? That was with Lightning Round Battlegrounds, right? Like we were watching with all of them.
Oh yeah, yeah. You're talking about like the SCP thing.
Yeah.
That's another one of those like kind of like subvert your expectations type horror things.
Those are fun. I like those.
Yeah.
I need to look at more of those.
That's legitimately what I'm interested in doing right now.
Like
It's
those
some
are the
kind-
kind of things
like
you
a
want to
horror,
create.
like a game is one school of thought because obviously I don't have any game making abilities, but I do like the idea of like telling a story that way.
Yeah. We have like slightly more experience with filming things, so maybe start with like a short film.
Probably. I'm personally I don't want to call myself a content creator because I don't think I am, but like what I see a lot of other content creators do is they'll like document the whole process of like if they're doing like a short film, they're like, oh yeah, and these are all these details I put it in, blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want to do.
I just watched some short horror films today for a video, like doing a react to a couple smaller ones and a couple bigger ones. My favorite was one that came out one day ago, and the person has 19 subscribers. It wasn't like the best short horror film I've ever seen, but it was like two people that they put in some work and made a cool little fun thing. It was fun, and it was kind of creepy too. Like it had some good creep factor to it.
What was it about?
The idea was that there was an alternate, like the Mandela catalog kind of thing.
Yeah.
I can show it to you later.
Yeah, I'll give it a look with my eyes.
If I feel like it.
Only because if I'm up to it, not because I'd be scared or anything. As I say, I'm like I'm like fucking shivering under a blanket.
Do you want a blanket?
I'm alright. Dude, if I want a blanket, I'll get one.
You don't have to offer one up to me.
Yeah.
Not you fucking bitch.
No, I'm not cold. I'm just thinking about something I really agree with. That's not my joke.
Who'd you steal it from?
Bill Burr.
Oh, he like beat his wife or something anyway, right?
I don't know.
I don't know what
I don't know.
I probably shouldn't say that.
I'm not gonna say... You can say that all you want, but I'm not gonna say that.
Bill Burr, if you're watching this.
These fucking kids!
You probably think it's funny or something. I don't know.
Yeah, this probably isn't even in his realm of... Like, he probably doesn't know what any of this is.
He doesn't know what Mario Kart is.
I can't believe he was
He's
in
too
Star
old for
Wars.
that.
Like, he was actually on The Mandalorian.
He was?
Yeah.
I didn't watch
He plays a
Mandalorian.
character.
He's a little 1 point. I did this fucking dot.
Your ACOG scope.
My dual ACOB scopes.
Yeah.
Close up.
Have you ever seen those things that's like an attachment for your glasses?
Grabby hands. God, what do you do to this thing?
Dude, like...
Are you me in high school?
Your hands are fucking ice cold.
We're going to Ghost Valley too.
As uncomfortable as that makes you. Anytime,
How cold are these?
I mean, they're not that cold right now, but they're colder than what I'm used to. So it's just,
But they used to be way worse. They used to be like cold and sweaty somehow.
They were textbook clammy.
Yeah. And I didn't know why. There was like nothing I could do to stop it.
Just happens.
My perpetual curse.
Mine's the opposite end though. Like they're
They're
don't get me
hot
wrong.
and dry.
Yeah, they're most of the time they're hot and dry. I could fucking warm a blanket with them.
The blanket doesn't warm me up. You warm the blanket.
Even when I'm freezing, I just touch my face.
I actually do use my face to warm up my hands sometimes. Because my face like just becomes the warmer part of my body, I guess.
All the blood's in your brain. Oh, my blood's in my hands.
Mine seems good. Yours seems like neutral.
Yeah. I'm definitely not gaining anything.
Gaining some warm hands. This one goes by so fast. And we haven't fallen off too much.
Speak for yourself.
Have you fallen off?
I don't think so yet, but...
Well, there's only one lap left. So you're doing good, buddy.
Cheer up, champ. You'll get there soon.
We're talking a lot more about the game this time.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Wario. Fuck you, Wario.
Fuck your Wario?
I said fuck you,
Man,
Wario.
fuck your Wario.
My Wario's better than your Wario.
Fuck that Wario.
Is that your Daisy impression? I like to think Daisy is southern.
It wasn't supposed to be a Daisy impression, but it was high enough.
Yeah, kind of matched.
Fuck you, Wario.
You gonna do a recharge?
I require power.
What if any of the music actually comes through, or like the sound effects from the game come through on the mics? Probably not.
Pretty funny. Might make a little more sense.
I swear, I thought you finished the donut already when you set your plate down. I was gonna be like, God damn.
And annihilated it.
It's insane.
And like it wasn't even in my mouth by that point.
It was already down.
You would have had to assume like I changed my mind.
Like, yeah, the ring one.
It's not,
You're like hiding it? Is it in your pocket? What's going on?
he's clearly fucking with me.
It's just
so.
crazy, dude. This isn't okay. Are we already doing a short horror film?
Where'd the donut go?
I might have talked to you about this already, but I would love to make a fake UFO video or like fake ghost videos. Like try to make an actually convincing.
Make it believable.
Yeah. I've been watching Cordo Crew, and sometimes they do like debunking things. They debunk like Bigfoot videos or UFO videos, things like that. And it gives you a lot of ideas on how to actually make a good one because they say everything that other people do wrong.
Yeah.
So if you just follow their guidelines, then you might be able to make something that fools them.
They've probably even done that for like movies, right?
How so?
Well, like Paranormal Activity or something like that. Maybe I'm getting two genres of their videos confused because, like, I know they'll like break down basically how CGI works for some movies, but then also,
Oh, like
I wish,
see how they did it for
Yeah.
movies like that, like horror movies.
because it seems realistic, to like the general audience
Yeah.
that is watching it.
If it was timely, they would have like tried to debunk Blair Witch Project when
Yeah.
people still thought it was real.
And that's just a dude, clearly, like
I bet you know which. When did that movie come out?
1999.
When did Cordo Crew come out?
A lot of people actually did believe it.
Yeah. Well,
Corridor,
it was set up like it was real.
I think Corridor has been around since like 2012. One of their famous videos, because they used to do more skits than anything, was the one called The Glitch, where it's like just video game characters they're dressing up as, and it's like...
Oh, I remember that one.
Yeah.
Like Master Chief is
pretty
breaking
well.
in the wall and
Yeah.
the ground. There we go. Order's restored.
All is right with the world again.
The bond between atoms.
The charges have returned.
Yeah, keeping electrons orbiting the nucleus stays intact.
You should have seen it around the last time of the podcast. Fucking mayhem, cats and dogs raining from the sky.
Did you beat me? You beat me on at least one of the sets.
I got second, you got third. Get the glizzy.
Isn't that a hot dog?
Yeah.
Cool.
But I'm gonna keep going with this, because this is all I know.
Sam, stop texting me. Fucking loving brother, goddammit. Trying to tell me about a nice trip that we're going on
Hey man,
in summer.
just checking in with you.
Hope you're doing well. If you respond within the next 3 minutes, I'll give you $40,000.
I do get an unusually high number of bullet bills whenever we play Mario Kart. Just in general. I mean, it's
Is
also...
there partly a reason for that?
Well, yes, but also, like, generally speaking, there's a lot of other people that could be in last.
You don't see a lot of bullet bills, but you
Yes.
get a lot of them.
For everyone that is in last.
God damn it.
Ah, yeah! Yeah!
I couldn't even get your computer player to spin on the bananas.
Just like, clearly, I have your voice.
Were you in 4th place for the whole thing so far?
Yeah.
That's the catheter.
Bowser catheter?
That's catheter.
The other catheter?
Yeah. You might need one. It's getting up there in age. When did Mario come out?
I guess it really depends.
It's been the same Bowser the whole time, right?
The better question would be, when did Bowser come out? Because we're talking like Donkey Kong, which is arguably like the first appearance of the plumber known as...
Well, he was Jumpman then.
he was Jumpman.
Mario came out with Mario. Like,
So I
with
guess-
the
I guess
name Mario.
The Mario Bros. Game then.
Yeah.
Right?
Which was when, like, 1662?
Yeah, I think so. Obviously around the time plumbers were invented.
Everything before 2023, I don't remember what time it was. Did you say around the time when plumbers were invented?
Yeah.
I should not register that. What's wrong?
It's just like the silent. Every time it goes quiet, we can't allow it to be quiet. I find it funny, I guess.
Well, like, this is what I worry about when I'm trying to make a video of some sort, especially with another person, because if it's on my own, then at least, like, I'm the only one experiencing it and I can cut it out. But if it's with somebody else, like, this experience is shared. It doesn't go away when I delete delete part of the footage.
Wait, wasn't there a prompt you wanted to talk about earlier on today's episode? There was like a talking point you wanted to hit on at some point, right?
Shit, now it's gonna bother me. I'm just gonna think about that silently for a
We
while.
both forgot.
Well, it would have been better if I just forgot completely. I wouldn't have to worry
As
about
opposed to be reminding
Yeah.
you.
You've cursed me with this knowledge.
And now you're going to talk about nothing else.
For the rest of the hour.
Got it. Yeah. Use the mushroom. Ring that bell.
You can't, like,
I can't
why?
indulge in my own references.
I call back to, like, something that doesn't even relate to this. The same console, I guess.
That's
as close as you can get.
It's like jerking off, though. Like, referencing yourself. No. It's like jerking off in front of somebody.
Expound. Expound.
It's the same as, like, having an inside joke with yourself to somebody who does not even know you, that you share with them. It's weird.
Okay, I get that part.
But
Back up a little bit.
So, I mean, obviously I'm exaggerating a little. It's not the exact same as fucking public masturbation.
Yeah.
But...
Yeah, public masturbation is way more fun than referencing yourself. We all know the difference there.
The self-references are...
Leave a like and a comment if you...
Can I get a PM army?
Oh, that's what they are now.
The PM army?
What was it we called them before? I already forget. I'll find out when I edit.
Remember. It was definitely not lovely.
Yeah. We jokingly said Sky Army.
Yeah. We should have talking points, though.
Like bring things to talk about, so we're not just bubbling idiots.
Pretty much.
But this is what we do. This is what we usually do. Yeah, wink, wink, nudge,
This
nudge.
is what we usually do.
I'm getting a divorce.
Just because we don't love each other doesn't mean we don't love you.
Jacob.
You really want a kid named Jacob.
I have trouble thinking of names. It's really bad when I try to think of names for, like, animals. Because I only think of human names. I joke about one of my stuffed animals being named Marcus. It's the plump pink cat.
Hello, I'm Marcus.
Then I also got a purple one, and that one's also named Marcus, because I couldn't think of another name.
Animal names could be pretty much anything from, like, Skull Crusher to fucking...
Sarah.
Marcus. Samuel. Best _ friend to
Sans _ tail.
Sand _ tail.
So seeing as you brought up the idea, because you're clearly prepared about this, what talking points have you brought for us today?
How nice of you to ask, which is why I brought this list.
Yeah.
Fucking...
This is you opening the paper.
If you could be any animal in the world, what
If
animal
I
would you
could be any animal in the world, I gotta repeat it because it's like an interview, so they can get the full soundbite, you know. If I was going to be any animal in the world, am I living one day like this, or am I living my whole life like this?
Your whole life. Why
My
would you...
whole life.
I mean, like, the point of asking a hypothetical, because obviously you know the answer to if you could be, like, whatever thing for one day with no consequences. But, like, yeah, you have to commit to it.
Yeah, because that's easy. Something that's big enough to not be prey too much would be nice. Something that's dangerous enough that it's, like, not gonna get messed with. But I would want to be something moderately intelligent.
Yeah.
Maybe an elephant. There's also, like, family stuff with that. Am I starting at birth, or am I starting at my current age?
Why not? You have to live your whole life as this animal, so... The sad thing is, a lot of them are endangered now, even if they once had a pretty good life.
Yeah.
Like, cheetahs are pretty inbred now.
Just because, like, trying to keep the population alive? Or what?
Well, okay, so, like,
I don't
in
know how that
captivity, obviously, it's like, not every animal will breed in captivity, but the natural cheetah population, for the last, couple generations, I only know this from Casual Geographic, is pretty inbred, because the gene pool is, like, so small.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, that's why they all look the exact same. Usually there's kind of variety, like with other large cats, there's like, got your snow leopards, and they all kind of like to varying degrees. I don't know how we got on this topic, but...
I asked you what talking points you brought, and then you just came up with something.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, I completely cut you off as well.
Well, no, I gave my answer pretty fully.
Elephants?
Yeah.
Just because they got a family thing going on?
Yeah, they got family stuff. They're probably not going to get terribly messed with.
Yeah.
Like the ones that are left, I guess.
Under that same logic, I guess I would be a gorilla.
Alright. Yeah.
Because like like
I don't know who the fuck's gonna mess with a gorilla.
I mean like they're poached probably for the same reasons that elephants are poached. Is just
Well, yeah,
like
those gorilla tusks really.
Yeah, dude.
Pull a pretty penny.
Dude, you know what I would do with those gorilla tusks? I got my hands, you know, like I'm gonna be holding up somebody's bowl of candy. Like, I would be a gorilla because it's like the next closest thing to being like a human being behind a chimp. I have like opposable thumbs and shit, so I mean, I think that's pretty good odds.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm fucking super strong.
Yeah, like you spawn in as like the skinniest fucking,
Yeah, dude, I'm a fucking
like the shittiest
I'm a
gorilla
twink
there is.
gorilla because chimps are fucked up.
I've seen them do some crazy shit.
Yeah, they work in tribes. If they find guns, they definitely will use them.
Whether they want to or
they
not.
seem to know what's important, like to people, because like
They know what to take.
yeah. If you see them go after something, even another chimp, they do not hesitate. Like a gorilla will give you a warning shot and then like throw you if nothing else works, and like if they have to bite you, and they're not gonna bite like a kid either.
Yeah.
Like the reason Harambe died was just because like the guard got trigger happy, but also people were like screaming and yelling at it and like throwing garbage. Like I would be kind of upset too. I probably would do the exact same thing. You know,
I'd swing around a kid a couple times if people yelling at me.
Well, like I think at first he just went to check it out, but then people thought like, oh, he's gonna kill the kid or something. So let's throw garbage and scream at it so that it doesn't get as stressed out.
Which, like, I can understand the panic that would ensue if, like, especially if it was your kid that fell in there. Like, I'd be freaking out.
Yeah. I mean, those people are definitely not blameless. That kid is probably bullied now for being the kid that caused that like, the death of the gorilla and, like, the kind of meme material that came from it. And then also,
I would
like,
hope not.
What kind of fucking dumbass... I'm talking about the parents here.
Yeah.
Puts their kid on their shoulders, look like close enough that they can, like, fall over the edge.
That's true.
My parents have done that, but I happen to.
I haven't been to many zoos.
I go to zoos a lot. I don't know why. It's not even like one of my interests. I've been to like pretty big zoos too. It just happenstance. Zoos are really fucked up industry too. Even though like there are actual zoologists, it's mostly like privatized. Like people want to buy those animals, and so the only reason that they're getting funded is because the promise that once the animals have reached their reproductive prime, they're going to be bought by some millionaire. They want a pet grizzly bear.
It's under the guise of like they're being taken care of there.
Yes, like it's really fucked up, and it happens in a lot of countries. Like there's more tigers in America in captivity, which is the place that they're
not indigenous to.
They're not even indigenous to. Even in the couple nearest continents. Obviously, I have some interest if I'm talking about it this much. But
well, we're talking about animals.
Yeah.
And zoos was just like a subtopic.
Yeah. Anyway, being a gorilla seems pretty cool because it's the next closest thing to being a human that's not a chimp. It's like the coolest primate to be, in my opinion.
Definitely the most intimidating.
Like they can give you like this like grimace, or they can like give you like a grin. And it doesn't always mean they're upset at you. Like Donkey Kong does this like side face grin, and so do they. But like if you smile at a chimp, they're gonna rip your face off and eat it like a hamburger. Like, gorillas are pretty chill, man, and most of them are actually vegans. Like they don't actively search for meat. You know how chimps hunt?
I do not know.
They actually hunt smaller primates and sometimes monkeys if there's no other... Like, they'll eat anything, but because they know the patterns of... And sometimes even try... Like, they're not cannibals, but they'll, like, fuck them up and raid their shit. Dude, it's like being in Minecraft. Like, they'll walk in a group in the woods, and they'll listen for, like, other animals calling each other and, like, other monkeys, and then they'll, like, go and climb the trees like Rambo. like just kind of, like, peering through. Then they'll go after, like, when the paternal figure of, like, the monkey group leaves, they'll go after the women and children, and just, like, they'll leave no one behind. Like, if there's, like, a baby that climbed all the way up top, then they prioritize that one. It was so fucked up in this documentary. You watch this baby monkey slowly realize it's sealed its fate.
Oh my god.
Oh no! And they're just like slowly climbing. It doesn't show the part, but you assume like they fucking deglove it. Like it's fucked up. And then they also sharpen sticks and shit too. Like, like they get technical. And it's like that's only their hunting phase. Like they have a totally different when it's purely out of spite.
When is it out of spite? What purpose do it have for
when
spite?
it's like a rival gang.
Oh,
like
gang.
like like a rival gang, or
Yeah.
like a bonobo, which is they're like knockoff chimps that are they're actually a little more chill. But if they see one, then just naturally, they're like, all right, come on. They'll just start like beating its head in. It's so fucked up. We do that to each other. It's not natural.
Yeah. It's a God-given right.
Yeah, and we're like we do that same shit. We're like, take his jacket, like, hit his shoes,
Kick him a little bit too.
kick him, yeah, spit on his ass.
I can feel it. It's because Microsoft dinosaurs
Wet
could
Willy
eat,
this
come up
shit,
all over his
like-
body.
And then when you see them, when you see the one who got fucked up afterwards, he's just like, oh, like, they left him without dignity, but they gave him everything else. When a jaguar goes after an animal, it's quick, it's painless. They go right for the head, and then they just like drag it off inconspicuously, like
Yeah.
nothing to see here.
And it's like
Yeah.
for food,
And
like,
when-
just so they can eat. Or,
When
like,
lions
protect
do that,
themselves,
yeah, when other big cats and even like bears, it's like they don't leave anything behind. There's only bones left, and even then, that's kind of an if because they're using every part of the of the prey. Like they'll eat the skin and everything. Having too big of a brain is kind of a bad idea.
Yeah, I
Because they'll
changed,
just leave them there to rot.
I changed
Like,
my answer from elephants to whatever not an elephant is.
I'm sure
Cheetah.
a cheetah,
Sure. The
the
endangered one.
inbred ones.
Yeah. I forgot that's
They're
part
the
of
only like
conversation we
big
had.
cat too that like can't like roar. They just meow.
Oh yeah, I've seen some videos of them doing that.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. Sure.
Just like, dude, you're the fastest land animal on Earth. You can't even give me like a hum.
Little pussy bitch. Come on.
Yeah, that's what they're the ultimate like skedaddle.
Get off my lawn.
And they can only do that for like 100 yards. After that, they're totally useless. They used all their sprint.
They're like an alligator. A feline alligator.
The cat version of the caiman. You know what a caiman is?
That sounds familiar, but no.
It's the third cousin to alligators and crocodiles who specializes
Oh.
in getting fish, and they look like a really derpy crocodile.
Yeah, I think
They
I
have
heard
this
of
really
that.
long, skinny nose, but they actually are like one of the natural prey to jaguars because
Oh, really?
because they're even though they could bite you and it would really hurt, they don't have nearly the dexterity and like reflex skills that alligators and crocodiles do. They're like, oh shit, get the fuck out of the way and go back in the water, and they can only eat fish. Like the other two are basically dinosaurs, but the caiman, yeah, they're just like hanging out and they're like, oh fuck, there's a jaguar. And then they can't get away from it because the jaguar is still slightly faster. And they'll just drag it out of the water. And dude, those jaguars are built like Mike Tyson too. Like when you look at their neck muscles, they can drag even those caiman into trees.
Into
Like
trees?
to eat later, yeah. Just using their neck muscles. They're not to be messed with. It's more like a quality over quantity thing because tigers are pretty similar and they're great swimmers. But the jaguar is like a run of the game.
That's why I mostly stay in Michigan.
The rest of the world has horrible animal. I mean, even here we still have black bears and shit. They have like actual ecosystems that humans without help
Yeah.
would definitely get wrapped up into.
Michigan's got a couple things, but nothing too crazy, and they're not everywhere. Like,
Yeah,
I've never even seen a bear in real life. Have you?
me neither. Well, I mean at zoos, but
No, not in the wild. Like, walking through forest trails, I've heard people say, oh, I saw a bear earlier today, but I don't know, I've never seen it myself.
the natural predator to like deer are cars here.
Yeah. You talking about the chimps or the monkeys or whatever getting, like, fucked up and fucking up other chimps and monkeys.
Sometimes they fuck up people.
Yeah, I guess so. Every time, it might not be every time, but it seems like every time I go home to visit my family, if there's a group gathering where there's like other family and like family friends around,
Yeah.
my dad somehow brings up the Faces of Death movie. Do you know what that is?
No.
I don't know when it came out, but I think it was before we were born. It was just like a tape or something that had a bunch of different versions of death, like things dying, people dying on it. Apparently it was like the
Is it like a snuff film or?
I guess the concept of it was like the thing to watch, to be like the tough person to like sit through it.
It's
You
like
know
the
how
Gauntlet?
we kind of
It's like
had
the gauntlet.
I'm not sure if I've ever watched like Gauntlet, but it's like the ABCs of Death. You know how that was like the thing to like try not to throw up at or whatever. Maybe the Gauntlet was more of a thing.
Yeah, the gauntlet it's a series of videos that are like disgusting or like horrifying.
Yeah, from what he tells me, I've never seen it myself, but it was like slaughterhouses and like people falling in front of trains, and it was like just the full like they showed everything on it.
Yeah.
Just like a bunch of people dying and animals dying and like rituals from tribes that like use animal sacrifices,
Yeah.
torturing animals, stuff like that.
And
Just
that-
like
it
all
was
types of death.
It was like the ABCs of death before the ABCs of
Yeah,
death, basically.
but it was all real. It wasn't like a movie
Yeah.
in that sense. It was just like documentary of all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And my dad just always says like he couldn't eat meat for a month after that. He just became a temporary vegetarian.
I can totally understand it. Like I've been to like a beef farm before, and even the pre-slaughterhouse part is fucking depressing. I don't know if I told that story to you yet.
I don't think so. No.
So like when I was like 12, I went to a farm. The way they do it there, because I've been also to dairy farms, which are like kind of disgusting, but like still, at least the one I saw, I can't speak for every one of them. It's like kind of a loving home. But like a beef farm where they're strictly raised just to be slaughtered, they have those like doghouse igloo things.
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And it's like rows and rows. It looks like a veteran graveyard of them, where just like there's a stake pounded in the ground where the calf is tied on a rope that's like 4 feet long, and they can like, if it's raining, they can walk into the igloo thing. That's where the stake is pounded in next to, or you know, if they want to be outside, then that too. And like most of them have never seen a human being that wasn't feeding them like out of a bottle. And I didn't even see the rest. I mean, I saw the rest of it, but it's like pretty much like any other farm. They're just kind of standing there in their own filth. But the calves, these just like innocent, they got these innocent eyes. It's like they've never seen anything except what was in front of them their entire, like, yeah, I guess 4-year-old, however old they are, lives. And it's like, I remember this one just went up to me, and it's like he wanted me to get him out of there. Like I could just see that in his eyes, and that really fucking depressed me for a long time. Like it was just in the back of my mind. Like anytime I eat a hamburger or anything like that, it was just like, God damn, that is so fucked up. There, like, why wouldn't we at least try to devise a more naturalized way of doing this? Like
There is, like, if you see like open field raised.
yeah, there's like grass fed, like, you know, cage free stuff out there, but I'm pretty sure it's just a marketing thing.
It might be like they say something, but they can kind of get a loophole through it.
Yeah,
Like there's no cages, but you know they're in
there's
an
no
igloo.
cages, but it's a fence.
They're on a field, but they're like staked into it,
Yeah.
or whatever. Or it's a small field. They
It
have
just
like
fucking
a couple square feet. or
depresses
whatever.
me, because it's like the buffalo that used to like roam the land that we live on now was hunted in excess in their natural habitat, but there was enough of them that it was like a continued sustainable thing, and all we were doing was, the Native American people that were hunting them were like taking off the weak and sick, like the stragglers, you know, never more than they needed. You know how much beef you can get from a cow?
A lot. They're big.
Buffalo are bigger. Like,
Yeah. On their 4 feet, they're standing higher than, like, taller than a human.
yeah, like the length of their leg is like slightly about neck level to a cow. They're enormous. They're not a very, well, because they're basically fucking extinct at this point, but their head is the size of your desk, man. Not like the brow part, but like that cabinet part.
Yeah.
If you were to draw like a sphere shape around that, that's the size of their head.
Mm-hmm.
They're huge. And they could fuck you up too. Like,
I've seen some videos of them, like,
yeah, they're like
goring people.
They're like those water buffalo that go after lions and then kill their like entire tribe. It would take a lot of work to take one down with a bow and arrow, especially the same arrow. Like we just consume it anyway, but that's more than enough food to feed like an entire town of people, like one meal each. We do that to cows in like slaughterhouses and stuff, but I don't think we even use all of the parts of it, you know?
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Most of it gets, I think, scrapped.
Well, because we only eat, like, the meats that get sold, right? That we eat, like, the tasty
And
stuff.
it's got to be fresh, too, but we don't freeze it at first, you know? We refrigerate it.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's so fucking wasteful. And you know how, like, because it's like we pump them full of steroids to kind of, like, fatten them up a little bit, but that's still not, like, dense, nutritious meat when they're just fed grain. There's no nutrition in that. They need nutrition the same way any other animal does.
Yeah.
And, like, when they're not getting that, then it's chintzy, cheap, poor quality meat. If, in, like, their normal circumstance, because they're kind of related, you know, it's all bovine, like, they're kind of related to a buffalo. If we just let them naturalize themselves in a contained area, we could hunt them, you know, and do the same, like, with more cattle everywhere, as opposed to basically doing a Holocaust. I don't know. I guess I'm not technically the right person to talk to about. Sorry, this took a really dark turn.
I indulged it as well.
Yeah.
I brought up, like, the Faces of Death thing and kind of started talking about that, too.
I'm not really the person to talk to because I'm not a vegetarian. I fucking love hamburgers and steak and shit. I just wish more people cared. And it's like I can't even say with confidence that I care that much.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna continue to eat meat.
I think the big problem with it is because it's such a thing, it's such a chain of events. Like that's just how it is. That's how the system is with eating meat.
Yeah.
It's hard to be the one to stand out, and like you need a group of people to break it to even have a chance. And how many people are even gonna try that?
Well, you need to be backed by some party as well.
Mm-hmm. And then somehow have a solution to like, okay, we're getting rid of this system. We need to put a new one in. What's your idea?
The only reason is I think that we continue to do it is because it's cheaper.
Yeah.
And also, like, we live in a really geographically diverse region of the world where, like, because not many other places in the world have both timbered forests, basically, like, rock dwellings, and then also, like, different, but, like, we live basically in a Minecraft region of the world where, like, biomes change and, like, you can randomly encounter snow. It's not usual, but, like, that would be hard to sustain for the way that we live because people like buy beef and eggs and stuff, and it's like we're designed to live off of the farm thing, but it's like for that farms have to change.
Yeah.
And I don't think they will. And people have opinions about that too. They're like, oh no, it's fine the way it is. And it's like, yeah, but that's because we've never tried it before.
A tangent from that. I think part of the reason we see so many different types of land in the United States is because the United States is fucking huge.
I know, dude. Like
it's like 2/3 the size of Russia.
It's the most land like that's whole in any one place. Like a continent like Africa, which is, if you're still counting North America, the rest of the land that makes up for it is Mexico. But when you look at Canada, it's got a bunch of lake beds in it. It's like there's a bunch of holes. It's Swiss cheese and most of it is cold and unlivable anyway. Like you have to already live in a pasteurized region. The same thing with Russia, because the farther north you go, the more water masses there's going to be. Countries in Europe, a lot of countries like are the size of one state.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to like hijack what you were saying, but also...
Well, you fed into it.
I mean...
Not hijacking, it's a conversation.
Did you have something else to add to that? It sounded like it might have.
Nah, it was just a comment like, this is big.
Yeah. It is big, like, because it's only like 200 years old that it's been like a indoctrinated country too. Like, are we going in the wrong direction?
Definitely.
And I guess as a broader sense that we're not very proactive and we just kind of react and we find like temporary solutions.
Look how the presidencies have been going.
I know, I know. Especially like, I'm sure with historical relativism, we don't actually know how politically charged the country has been like in times before like television and stuff. So like for the vast majority of it, we don't really know how generally people felt, just what's been published. And like we don't even have an accurate image of most of our presidents because we just have paintings. We don't even know what some of them actually looked like. We'd only be guessing unless we had their like remains.
Like we assume some of them were like good or bad or neutral.
Yeah, but even like our descriptions of them, it's just what people have like described of them.
What's been passed down.
Yeah, and it's probably like pretty distorted. I heard somebody say, I can't remember exactly where, that George Washington was 6'2".
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Who the fuck knows?
The dude wouldn't be a president though. He'd be fucking arrested for being a giant. Like,
I think I say he wouldn't be a president. He'd be playing for the Pistons.
6'2" in like 1777 is like Shaquille O'Neal today.
Have you ever seen pictures of the tallest man in the world next to the shortest woman in the world?
Yeah, I have. But also like that, yeah, the tallest man in the world, when you kind of like look into their lives and they're usually in crutches or in canes and stuff because it's mostly the limb growth. That would be unbelievably painful. You would be experiencing...
Mobility is terrible.
Yeah, you would be experiencing like disintegration of your bones and muscles over time because of like...
the bones. But yeah, you're right.
Somebody like Shaquille O'Neal, who is like a trained athlete, still probably experiences pain because it's like it's the same muscle in the same bone but upscaled. There's so many more pounds of it. It's like just weighing down on you. It would be like living everyday life with like some lead weight strapped to all of the parts of your body to approximate the feeling. Like they would all be sore at the very least, and at the most they'd be like cracking. You'd be like a statue that wasn't reinforced. Like, have you ever heard of the square I think it's the square cube law? The square cube law is like the reason animals can't be too big outside of water, like land animals, because their sheer weight alone is enough to like shorten their lifespans and severely damage their bodies if they like fall.
Oh. Okay.
Like when you think about it, it makes a lot of sense. Like why humans have probably started to reach the upper limit of how big they're ever going to be. Like 8 foot tall, I think is pushing it because then you start to experience problems. But even even 7 foot tall, like they don't live as long. You know, their heart. You got like a fucking regular guy sized heart and like an elephant body. Like
You gotta get that. The going
Yeah.
down is fine, but
it's
the
like
blood coming back
like
up.
putting a lawnmower engine in like an F-250. Like it's not gonna last very long.
You have like a real projection to your voice. You can be looking at me while you're talking,
It is still-
and you're still peaking
Yeah. I think it's like
at like a
I'm
3 foot distance.
I'm all throaty and I have like a very punchy voice. It's not smooth. It's closer to nails on a chalkboard than yours. That's all I'll say about
I
that.
guess.
I talk like a lot more up here because if I talk down here, then it's a lot smoother and like it's not even physically as loud or audibly as loud. And this is like talking from my diaphragm like somebody normally would. But then when I engage my throat the rest of the time, you know, it's like at least in the like the upper limits of the yellow.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm actually talking about something, I haven't been paying attention to my screen.
I look up and
Kinda
you're
thought I was
like
you
deep
for a
in the
second.
sand.
Yeah, it's just
You're loud.
I'm loud. That's all I'll say
So,
about
yeah.
it. I have a really like rangy voice too. Like I think me whispering sounds like a completely different person than me talking, or me trying to do like a different voice that's my own sounds completely different because it's like just a changing in a muscle. Whereas like other people, they sound like largely the same whether they're whispering or not.
How do you whisper?
Probably not gonna pick up on the mic, but like
You can get closer.
I whisper like this. My voice goes a lot quieter and
But I would hope so.
the cadence of my voice changes as well.
I feel like I don't hear you whisper that much because this does seem new.
Yeah,
It's very different.
it sounds pretty different. But when's the last time I've had a need to whisper?
Well, yeah.
We're not like hiding or in danger or something.
We're not like trying to talk to each other in
Yeah.
high school reading time.
Shut the fuck up.
Hey, mister.
The dude should not have been a middle school teacher.
One time he put me in lunch detention because I missed one of my flashcards in like the set of 20 flashcards
What?
for vocabulary.
For literally not knowing something, he punished you?
No, it was like a homework assignment
Oh.
to write your flashcards.
You were supposed to
and, like,
make one?
Yeah, like make flashcards to like study off of for the test.
Oh my god.
Because there was always like a vocabulary section on the test.
Yeah.
Of just like matching stuff or whatever, or writing down the definitions. So you like just bring in the set of flashcards for whatever chapter we were on.
Yeah.
I guess I forgot to write one of them, or like I lost one of them. I turned them in and it was like, hey, you're missing this word. I was like, oh, I don't know where it went or if I had it. Sorry. I was like, well, I don't remember if that was like the set rule. Like if you miss if you miss some of your flashcards, then you have to go to lunch detention. But he just gave me it.
Why wouldn't he just? Oh, but he was like casual about it. He wasn't like detention.
No, I mean, you know how he was. Like he wasn't.
Yeah,
He wasn't like the almost like smoothest teacher in the world,
he
but
was a little bit of a freakazoid.
I generally did like him when I had him. He did give me the detention for it, so
Damn.
says whatever it says
Yeah,
about him.
I mean, I would have just asked, like, dude, I would have been fine if he like took a point off.
I think that's the only time I ever had any kind of detention. Maybe I had some like in elementary school or something.
I've had detention for some bullshit reasons before. Like I forgot my planner because they handed those things out. They're like, oh, you have to write your day in it.
Oh yeah,
You have to. All 3 hours of it.
I never used
It
mine.
was free. Yeah, I forgot it because like they started doing this thing where to avoid kids just like smoking in the bathroom and hanging out. You know, it's like your hall pass. Like get it signed and then you can go. And I didn't have mine.
Oh, well, you were out.
While I was out, and they found me, and I was like,
They found you.
They target.
Buzz.
I was in deep shit. It only gets worse when you run. Actually, well, so what it was is like they dragged me back to. Well, they didn't drag me, but they walked me back, and they were like, "This student doesn't have his planner." It's, oh, I guess detention.
Oh, like that was just the policy, so they had to follow whatever.
Yeah, I can't even remember how I got out without the planner. Like
You just walked out or something.
I'm pretty sure
you
I
have
was
to
like,
get checked with the teacher, right?
Yeah, you have to get a signature. And most of the time, even if you have your planner, they're like, "Oh, stop, we gotta check you."
Yeah, it got a lot more lax in high school. I remember when I was hanging out with Tony Moore, like he had SOT with what was the name? Science teacher who like never gave a shit. The dude always talked about his chickens and his wife who didn't love him. Nah, it was in high school.
I'm sure there's one I can't put my finger on.
Class where like nobody ever paid attention. Like nobody learned anything. Everybody failed his tests.
Yeah.
I got a hall pass for SOT from him and just kept it. You're supposed to get a new one each time.
Yeah.
Or like get a new signature or
I
whatever.
remember that. They were like the yellow and pink ones, right?
Yeah. So I just took one and then I always had that one. So when I wanted to go hang out with some friends in his class, I would just show my SOT teacher that and like, oh yeah, I'm heading over to the other classroom. And she was like, all right, sure.
I remember that. That was like shortly before COVID too.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't even make sense because it was like a whole hour and a half of that. I would do that a lot with Jalen. He had for SRT and like he would go down there. He would go down to mine, which I had. I can't even remember his name. Why can't I remember his name? And he would like go down there and pick me up, and he's like, "Hey, let's go." I'm like, "All right, as long as it's cool with my teacher." And he's like, and then we would just walk down there and then hang out there for like. He was like, "Yeah, it's."
That's the one who like didn't give a shit.
This is all coming back to me.
I should have remember one name. That the other ones started coming in.
Yeah. That's such a really weird jump. I understand now why the seniors I met when I was a freshman, why they were so checked out. I don't know if it was even like, it was just that they were generally more relaxed with the seniors, but it felt like they would mandate us so much more when we were, like in freshman and sophomore year, and then later it just seemed like they just stopped caring.
Yeah. We also had a weirder like last year and a half.
Yeah. Pretty sure like 50% of students statistically failed.
Yeah, it was
because
terrible.
They just stopped paying attention.
Especially for that semester,
We were so
like part of a
fucked-
semester
we're
where
so
we
fucked
were
as a
online.
generation.
Like it didn't work. And that was part of
Yeah.
it. I wasn't doing well either.
Yeah, I mean, like I did fine, but I still cheated.
Yeah, I cheated
I don't
all
mean
fucking
to.
time.
I don't mean to admit that, but like, it's basically what I do now. It's like I like would check one day a week. Like, oh shit, I still have some stuff to do, and I would just cheat off the internet and get whatever answers I needed. Dude, we are so fucked as a generation now.
Yeah.
Like, if that's speaking for the average high school experience of people who graduated or went to school at that time, you basically dropped out for like 6 to 8 months. You just didn't even care. And then we like come back for the very end when like exams actually matter.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's it.
For the next episode, since you brought up the idea of having topics to bring, so we actually have something to talk about.
Yeah.
The topic I'm gonna bring for the next episode is cheating.
Cheating.
Like all the cheating we did through school.
Oh,
or
yeah.
currently do. Oh, also another name idea I had for this, which I don't know if I like as much, but I don't know. I like alliteration, I guess. Routine racing.
It's actually pretty good. Routine racing. That's more ambiguous than what we normally do. And I like that about it because it's like, all the podcasts seem like they gotta have like this kind of punchy name. I think I'm actually further away from this mic than you are to that one.
Yeah. That's why
And
I'm
I'm
so
still-
impressed of you like hitting the peaking so much. I have to be talking at it to get in the red.
Do I sound that? I must be like a siren. Like when I turn to face people and I talk to them, it must be like
You're still going to the red.
it must be like ear splitting to people when I talk to them, and I think I'm talking at a normal volume.
I mean, it's fine for me because I listen to so much loud music. Everything's fucked up here anyway. If things go quiet, I hear ringing.
I'm actually excited for the next one.
We can record another one tomorrow if you want after we go to the mall.
Yeah. You want to play another round anyway?
Of this? Sure.
Yeah. I've got not much else to do.
Okay.